Hello everybody, welcome to Blue Marble Science. Are you guys ready for some intergalactic weapons grade stupidity? Because I've got just the man for the challenge. Brought to you by who else? John the Quantum Eraser. Warning, and I'm not kidding. Severe facial and monitor damage alert is in effect. Get out those oven mitts, push the monitors way back out of punching range, and let's light this dumpster fire and have some fun. This is a thing the flat earthers have been calling the Alice and Bob paradox. If we've got Alice right there and Bob over there standing on the earth some miles apart, Alice's gravity is in that direction, but for Bob, gravity is in that direction. And a tangent to the surface of the earth where Alice is that red line. But the tangent to the surface of the earth where Bob is that line. So both of these people will see a drop of 8 inches per mile squared anywhere along those tangents. According to Quantum Eraser, this is impossible on a globe. I want you to listen to the mess he makes out of this.
People have been running with our little discussion the other day. Apparently somebody taped our little Alice and Bob discussion the other day. Baltards they're all they got their panties in a bunch.
Oh, I did see that there was somebody made a YouTube video about that. Yeah.
They got Everett Anderson, he's one of the skanks that he's got an addiction for me or something. it's really creepy, but
what is the explanation, John, for that?
They don't have an well, you'd have to ask Matthew, because me and Matthew discussed Alice and Bob, right?
Really?
Right.
Matthew,
Yeah.
can you open my mind? Matthew, please open my mind with that.
Sure. The basic disagreement is whether Alice and Bob experience the same direction of down or not.
Okay. Yeah. But Matthew,
it really doesn't have any. I don't know. That's sort of a red herring fallacy, right? Because drop is drop. If Bob's looking at, remember, the fairy tale story is that every point along a tangent from your feet vertically drops 8 inches per mile squared. So if you got two people, I didn't originate this argument, by the way. I thought about it before the original, right? But I wasn't the one first put it out. I think somebody reminded me that Jaron was one of the first ones to put this out.
Jaron put that out 100%.
This was a long time ago.
Years ago, mate. Years and years ago now.
Yeah.
Long time.
And I was thinking about it before Jaron. I didn't hear him, but I heard it afterwards. But it's not a big deal whose argument it is. It's just 8 inches per mile squared. Am I correct, Matthew?
Yeah, you're right. You're explaining it right. Yeah.
So every point along a tangent from anyone from your feet vertically drops at 8 inches per mile squared. Well, drop is drop. If I'm looking at you 5 miles away, and between me and you, I'm looking at you and it's dropping at 8 inches per mile squared, and you're looking at me and it's dropping 8 inches per mile squared, there's no way out of that.
We don't need a way out of that, and that's the way it works.
Yeah, you're right. That's a paradox.
What paradox? It can't work any other way.
That if the drop means drop, and if drop is parallel for Alice and for Bob, then it is a paradox. The Glober answer would be that they're not actually parallel, even at 5 miles apart. The direction of down is slightly
parallel?
different.
What does parallel drop mean?
It means the direction of down for Alice, and then the direction of down for Bob. If its drop means drop, then they're parallel lines. But if they don't, then they're not.
What parallel lines? They're both, the grade is dropping away towards Alice, and then the grade is dropping away towards Bob.
No, I'm talking about, okay, so 2 lines. 2 lines.
No, I'm talking, Matthew, they are in straight line.
I don't get it.
Okay, let me try to explain. If you start where Alice is and point a line directly down, That's one line.
Mhm.
Then you go over to where Bob is and point a line directly down. That's the second line. Now the question
Right.
is whether those two lines are perfectly parallel or not.
For
And
one,
Huey's-
it's not. That's not.
It can't be.
Number one, not the argument. Number two, they are parallel.
No, they're not parallel. This gravity vector is not parallel with that gravity vector. And this tangent is not parallel with that tangent. Get your head out of your ass.
No, I understand. You have to say if they're parallel, then there is a paradox.
No, I can say it without it being parallel. It's still dropping.
What two lines? It's only one line.
Matthew, you're gonna have to draw this shit, man.
Yeah, I don't have a super good way to draw that, but maybe I'll try.
Can I help you with Emily and Steve?
Emily and Steve.
Listen to this, John. Emily
You mean
is
Adam and Steve instead of Adam and Eve?
no. Bob is on the south. Let's say like this, and Alice it's on the north, but Emily it's on the west, and Steve is on the east, and they're watching in one point. All of them are 40 miles away, and all of them have drops, isn't?
I'm not getting it.
Now, there's an understatement for you.
Does somebody else know what Matthew's talking about and can explain it or draw it?
Right.
Yeah.
I think he's talking about the vector, like of their fall.
From what I was getting, yeah. Sorry, Matthew, go ahead.
Let me try to explain it. I'm talking about two different vectors. A vector is a point and then a direction. And so there is a vector where Alice is standing. It's the point where she is. And then the vector is straight down from where she is, right?
Right.
Okay, so then that's one vector. The second vector is 5 miles away or 10 miles, whatever, where Bob is. And
it's vector up.
There's a point where Bob is, and then a vector straight down where Bob is. So we've got two vectors that are about 10 miles apart. Actually, let's just say 5 miles.
But Bob has the vector up because...
Wait, just let him finish. Let him finish.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so you guys understand there's two vectors. One, Alice straight down, and then one, Bob straight down. Those are two vectors 5 miles apart. Now the question, and what QE says is right, that's a paradox, assuming that those vectors are parallel. He says they're parallel. There's no argument they're parallel.
I'm not saying that.
Are you talking Are you talking about the tips of the vectors, not the actual lines being parallel, Matthew? Are you on about the tips?
I could care less. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that.
Not you, Q. I'm asking him.
Vectors have direction, and the question is, are they exactly the same direction, or is there some angle between them? That's the question.
No, it's not. Right. That's not the question at all. If Bob and fucking Alice start walking towards each other, they are both walking down fucking hill. Everything else being equal, they're both. That's it. There you go, Drace. You can't get around it. How the fuck can you get around that?
It's really not very hard. All you got to do is put Alice and Bob on the same damn planet.
But even if those two vectors were pointing, in your example, Matthew, if those vectors were pointing in the same direction, right? So you would be saying that would be the center of the Earth, correct? I guess.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. But for them to even... yeah. But there's an issue because of the other paradox, right? Like, and to be honest with you, so they would have to also be at the same depth, wouldn't they? Those vectors, like if you were to draw the tangents or whatever, right? That amount of drop, they'd have to be the exact same depth.
Well, what you want? Simple.
Their vectors weren't parallel.
They're going down to
Sasha. Hold on, Sasha. Even if their vectors weren't parallel, they're still walking fucking downhill towards each other.
Yeah, that's the point.
Oh my goodness. QE?
You're an idiot!
If you draw it on a globe, then the paradox goes away, but it might...
Draw it on a globe. Let me see two people with vertical drop on a fucking globe. That's what I'm saying. It's a parrot. You can't do it.
Two people that can walk toward one another with a vertical drop.
You can't
And
do it. So-
That's a U shape. That's a U shape, man.
So I can't change it.
Okay, in practicality and in reality, if you apply that standard to Alice and Bob, it doesn't have to be 40 miles away. You can make it 5 miles away, 2 miles away, right?
You can use
There's
like
no way around. If they start walking towards each other, that they're both walking downhill. There's no way around it. If you put a third and fourth or fifth or sixth person, it's a train wreck of epic proportions. What you're saying is we live on Mogul Earth.
Well, this goes on for 46 minutes. You can listen to the whole thing over on Gary Bennett's channel. I'll leave a link in the description. But I think that's about all the torture I'm up for one day. Hey, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And QE, when I say how stupid can you be, son, that is not a challenge. That's a question. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Shout out to the Patreons, PayPals. Appreciate you guys. And we'll see you on the next one.